Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Evening everyone, welcome to the Oz Oval Series, brought to you by Everything Simulated, here for the V8 Supercar Oval Series, round 10 at Kentucky Speedway. Looking forward to this one. I bring back an old mate, of mine, into the booth tonight, Paul Jackson, mate. We've still got 4 minutes and 20 here in the warm-up before we get into the qualifying session, but back in the booth, mate, we bring a little bit of old nostalgia back, and we're about to go give the viewers a little bit of action here for round number 10 of the Everything Simulated V8 Supercar Oval Series.
How you going, Aidan and Kobe and everyone else tuning in tonight? And good to be back in the booth once more with a few more minutes left practice here at Kentucky Speedway.
Yeah, looking forward to a good night, mate. Different style of racing to what we've seen at the moment on board with Peter Matson. 1.5 mile oval, so obviously the tyre wear is going to be a big factor there as Kobe brings it up on the screen. So as you said, we're at Kentucky, race lengths 180 miles tonight. It will be 120 laps, track length 1.5 mile oval. Laps is 120, as I just said, fuel capacity 70%. There's 3 sets of tyres over the wall and 2 green white checkers if we do need them, and the incident limits you can see down below. But different style of racing, or we see this actually in the Oval Series. 1.5 miles is no different, as you know, Paul, running these type of series before. It's no different, but how the guys navigate it, it's going to be draft dependent. It's going to be how they position their cars, especially through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, to be able to get that long run in these cars.
Yeah, for sure. And just watching Peter Madsen there looking to opt to run a bit of a higher line there just in the practice session. And yeah, we'll see what scenarios sort of shake up tonight on the low and high lines, and if that'll affect tyre wear a little bit later into a stint run.
Yeah, I think it will affect it. You can see right there that I think that might be Christopher Finlay on the inside there, running the inside line. That's going to be the quickest way early around here at Kentucky. It usually is. He's now navigating up through the mid-track, and he's going to pull it down out of 3 and 4 to get the run off 3 and 4 to try and get a good run. So totally different lines. But what we see with these supercars, and we've seen through the previous now 9 rounds of this season, that it's all about draft, it's all about where you go, and there's going to be 3-4 wide racing early on. We saw that last week. We were meant to do the 50-50, and they went, as you see right there, that's exactly what we're going to see, ladies and gentlemen. So they're just feeling it out, but we saw, and that's Troy Davidson getting cleaned up by his teammate Chris Finlay, if you don't mind. But Paul, back to my point as we go back to the instant replay. Last week we had the 50-50, which unfortunately, that's a big crash there. But last week we did have the 50-50, and we were meant to have the reverse grid, and second one, that didn't happen. But we did see a lot of 3 and 4 wide racing. But before I get your comments on that, Paul, we'll go through the series standings, and it is Gary Wellman in first with 325, Craig Roffey 298 in second, Jamie Nankervis in third with 292. A lot to play at the front here at round number 10 as we get to the crunchy end of the season. Andy Barber there with 247, Adam Malone 232, Troy Davidson 229, Tristan Koch 217, Tony Roffey 200, Troy Mortensen 199, Pete Matson 169. But they're your top 10, Paul. But it's going to be interesting to see how these guys navigate it, because if they go 3 or 4 wide, we might see a couple of cautions tonight, and we're getting to the pointy end of the season. It's all on for the championship.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see some 4 wide action in Kentucky. That would definitely make some interesting viewing. But definitely 3 wide, I think, is possible. 4 wide, I think everyone will be holding their steering wheels pretty tightly.
Yeah, definitely. It's we go through it. I think that's Christopher Finlay again trying to make a good run. But at the moment in practice, you can see down through the leaderboard, Gary Wellman, he's there setting the pace with a 33.74. Craig Roffey, not to be outdone, 30.377. Troy Davison, a 33.90. Cade Donnelly, a 33.93. And Jamie Nankervis, a 34.55. So the Sim boys up the front. No surprise to see Jamie Nankervis up the front as well, as we're about to go into qualifying, Paul.
Yeah, well, Symbol has always show a pretty good strong running in the eights, and even Rogue boys, the Roffies and that. They tend to dish some back to them as well. So as we've seen over the last few races and whatnot, and over the series as well. But, they just got, I think that's Troy Davidson coming out of pit lane now to do his first qualifying lap.
Yeah, 100% it is. Let's keep on board with Troy Davison in the 23 from the Simboys entry out of Melbourne in New South Wales. I believe he is not out of Tasmania, but Troy Davison. He's going to show us how to do a lap here around Kentucky Speedway as he goes down the main straight up into sixth gear. We'll see how he goes. We'll come back to your favourite drivers as they go through qualifying, but we'll just show you Troy Davidson as he makes his way through 1 and 2 very low, keeps it down on the low line as much as he can, drifts a little bit high there and nearly gets into the wall, but a great job there out of 1 and 2. Comes down into 3 and 4. He's going to bring it down really early, and he's going to try and hold it there through the mid and bring it down early on the exit to try and get out of the corner and get the run. He does that mid-track and comes underneath, and that's his first lap. His second lap will probably be the quickest, but at the moment, that's the pole, 30.605. They only get one lap, so that's the pole. We'll go back now to Adam Malone. No, sorry, that's a Rogue Sim Racing. My apologies. Parianastakis. So Parianastakis, 30.736 at the moment. One lap qualifying, and I tell you what, Adam Malone's gone to the top. 30.561 from Adam Malone, if you don't mind. Craig Roffey going across the line. He's starting his quick lap at the moment. Craig Roffey always up there in this series. One of the leaders in the series. He's going to be there or thereabouts as he comes down the back straight into 3 and 4. Where's he going to play out here for round number 10 of the Everything Simulated V8 Supercar Oval Series? In through 3 and 4 he goes. Is he going to pit Adam Malone? We're about to find out. Is he going to pit Troy Davidson? Across the line he comes. Where are we going to see Roffey? And he goes into P4. Not good enough to get up the top, but we all know, Paul, it doesn't matter where you qualify. Long way to go. And still 2 minutes 30 left here in the qualifying session here. Andy Barber on board as well. He's about to set his qualifying lap. So don't write off Andy Barber. He's up in the championship as well as we ride on top of his lid. So he's going to come down through the back straight at the moment into 3 and 4. We saw what Roffey, he didn't quite have enough. Does he have anything for Adam Malone, his teammate, who's the provisional pole, as he goes through 3 and 4? We'll see this time as Andy Barber comes out of 3 and 4 down the main straight. Does he have anything for his teammate? Does he have anything for Davidson? Puts him into P5. Not quite enough for Andy Barber there, Paul.
Not quite. But now we go to Peter Matson there on board to see what he can do and see if he can put himself up into that top 5 spots, get a good start for the race.
Well, there he goes. He goes down into 1 and 2 for the first time. Oh, unless he's just done his lap. He's just done his lap. So it looks like that's Peter Matson out of P number 10. At the moment, it looks like that might be your provisional grid, ladies and gentlemen. It may be. But, Paul, mate, before we get into this race, Jamie Nankervis hasn't really set a lap, which is a little bit interesting to see what his strategy is, considering he's coming into round number 10 quite up the grid in the 3rd or 4th position. But, mate, back on the broadcast booth, what are you looking forward to most tonight? We got 120 laps around Kentucky. You and I know, and we've been broadcasting for a long time together and commentating. We know what it's going to bring. But what are you looking forward to the most, mate?
I don't know. Hopefully some good racing. Of course, we always like to see a big one and like that, but and the viewers like that too. But yeah, I'm sure everyone would like some good, clean, green racing at Kentucky, and usually the track's pretty good track to run on. So hopefully we'll get some green flag racing tonight.
100%. We'll just go to some commercials, and thank you for your input there, Paul. We'll just go to some commercials, ladies and gentlemen, before we bring you the start of the race here for round number 10 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval Series here from Kentucky.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here for round number 10 of the Everything Simulator of Oz Oval Series from Kentucky Motor Speedway. And we'll bring up your grid, and it will be Adam Malone from Southern Stars taking you to the pole with Troy Davidson out of P number 2 in the 23. Kay Donnelly out of P number 3 in the 41, and Craig Roffey will line up in P number 4 in the 030. Out of P number 5 tonight will be Andy Barber in the 20 car, and Perry Anastakis out of P6 in the 144. Out of P7 will be Shane Roffey in the 61, and P8 Gary Wellman in the 45. P9 tonight will be Rick Vincent in the 94, and Pete Matson will be rounding out your 10 in the 173, Paul, if you want to jump across. But Tony Roffey in the 85, in 11th, Todd Maxfield in the 16th. In the next position, Shannon Wright in the 023, Adam Ariel out of Quantum Motorsports in the 515. Next row of the grid will be Phil Butler in the 067 with Terry Marwood in the 10. Out of the next position. Row 9 tonight will be Paul Drady in the 129, and Jamie Nankervis, your championship contender, right at the back at the moment, out of row number 9. Noddy Tompkins in the 119 out of row 10, followed by Tristan Koch out of the 20th. 21st position, Troy Mortensen in the 83, and 22nd position tonight will be Jared Williams. So 22 starters here for round number 10 of the Oz Oval Series here from Kentucky Motor Speedway. Paul, I'm going to shut up for a minute. We're about to go green flag racing. 22 cars, might be a little bit of a smaller field, but I tell you what, the racing's going to be hot at the front. Anyway, we're going to green flag as Paul Jackson decides to throw me under the bus and say nothing. So we're going to green flag here. So we're getting the green flag. Adam Malone off the start here. He will bring you to the green. It will be Troy Davidson on the outside. Kay Donnelly on the inside. Looks like Adam Malone's having a little bit of blinking issues. Craig Roffey on the outside as well. And we're about to go green flag racing here for round number 10 of the Oz Oval Series, brought to you here by Everything Simulated. And we've got a bit of connection issues at the front here with the boys. They're not going to like that at all, but Cade Donnelly getting a good run down on the inside line through 1 and 2. Craig Roffey in behind him as well. Troy Davidson on the outside line. Adam Malone disappearing very, very quickly at the front. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys navigate as they make their way through 3 and 4 for the first time tonight. Simboys at the front, Adam Malone leading the way over Donnelly, Davidson, Roffey, Barber, Wellman, Anastakis down through lap 1 as we navigate their way through. So that outside line, Paul, expect that to really pick up as it goes on. As you can see, Davidson and Andy Barber really working together there on the outside. I'm really concerned about Adam Malone blinking a lot at the moment. The boys are doing a great job just navigating in behind him, but we'll see how that goes. But at the moment, Adam Malone, Donnelly, Davidson, Roffey, Barber, Wellman, Matson, Maxfield, Anastakis and Roffey, your 10, as we make their way through lap 3 here for round number 10 of the Oval Series from Kentucky. But Troy Davidson on that outside line really wants to make that work, and he does a great job there and just tucks into the back of Craig Roffey as they go into 3 and 4. So you can see also, you know, in behind him, you got Andy Barber. He's just sitting there having a watching brief at the moment. So Sim Boys and the Road guys at the front, and of course the Southern Stars guys in Adam Malone leading the race. The usual contenders at the front here, Paul, but 4 in, and it's sort of settled down at the moment. So we're going to see how it transitions throughout the race at the moment.
It definitely looks like just back a little bit. Maybe Todd might just scrape the outside wall there a little bit, going too wide. But looks like he kept his momentum going and having a bit of a little run there with Peter Matson. The leaders are running one a piece of line there. So it looks like that blinking might be a little bit under control now for Adam Malone. So got Cade Donnelly looking to put the pressure on Adam Malone and about to make the moves to take that lead away.
Cade making a good move down there into 3 and 4. Cade's not one to hold back. He always wants to have a go at the front, and we don't blame him. This is motorsport, so he's having a great run. He gets the job done there on Adam Malone. He's got Craig Roffey in behind him, giving him a good push into 1 and 2. Have a look who's in behind that as well. Cade Donnelly's teammate, Troy Davidson. And you can see Adam just blanking a little bit on the outside line there. So Adam sort of getting run over at the moment. He's going to sit there on the outside line. Troy Davidson there, third car deep on the inside line, trying to make his way up. Keep an eye on Andy Barber as well. He's got Gary Wellman, who's a teammate to Roffey and Davidson and Donnelly in front as well in this chasing pack, and also Maxfield's there as well, which is teammates. So the usual guys come to the front and don't ride off. I know we're early doors, Paul, and we're getting excited, but don't ride off Pete Matson. He's there in the Orbic car coming down the inside there. So don't ride off Pete Matson as he tries to make his way up there as well. Parry Anastakis, after a good run out last week rather, he had a good job as well. But it's anyone's. Have a look at this. They're just nose to tail all the way, and there is different strategies playing out in this. But I see there's a 10 that they're really wanting to run on that low line. No one's really wanting to go up to that mid to outside line. They're really wanting to use that tyre as Troy Davidson now takes the lead over Craig Roffey, Paul. So a lot of different driving. I would have thought it would have been more mid-track, but they're really driving it hard into the corners.
Yeah, definitely. Looked a little bit like they were using a little bit of the high side off the track and then dropping low again. But just trying to maybe break up the draft a little bit and maybe use a bit more tyre or save a bit more tyre depending where they are. But yeah, Davidson to the front now, and the guys at the front here all want to lock in those bonus points for leading the lap as well early in the race, so they won't have to worry about it later on.
100% they do, mate, but you just notice there by Troy Davidson, he actually put his foot on the brake there into turns number 3 and 4. So they're not all flat out, or at least just lifting off. They're actually putting their foot on the brake, or at least Troy did on that occasion through 3 and 4 as he leads the way out of 1 and 2. Craig Roffey right in behind him as well. So this is a settling period. Who wants to lead the way at the moment? It looks like it's going to be Troy Davidson. You can see there just a little bit of touch of the brake into the corner, and he pushes a little bit wide, but they're all just sitting there in the draft. You can see Adam Malone there just having a sneaky little peek on the outside of Kate Donnelly there on the exit of 3 and 4. Maxfield in behind them as well, and Andy Barber, as I said, in 5th, and Pete Matson 7th, Wellman, Roffey and Anastakis, year 10. Different type of racing here. This is going to be interesting. 1.5 mile ovals with supercars. We're 11 into 120. It is Davidson, Roffey, Donnelly, Malone and Maxfield, year 5, but different driving by all the guys at the moment. And you can see Roffey. I think Roffey's just staying in behind at the moment and just trying to save some fuel, trying to save his equipment and get ready for when the race starts in behind Troy Davidson at the front here, Paul.
Yeah, well, that bit of break into 3 there will help Troy save his tyres a little bit longer as well. Just wipe off that little bit of entry speed and not burn up those rears. And yeah, that might just give him a little bit of an edge a bit later. But Looks like Roffey's trying to go to the outside here, but couldn't quite get around the outside. Just slots back in, but it could be going 3 wide, but just behind them in a minute. You've got Malone, Donnelly, and Maxfield there, just in behind Donnelly.
Yeah, it looked like Maxfield really wanted to go 3 wide there on the outside, sitting there. You can see him, the 4th car back on the outside for everyone tuning in the Sim Boys outfit in the silver car. Andy Barber now wanting to make a run up behind his teammate as well, but he's wanting to make a move by the looks of it. Maxfield sitting on the outside, 3 cars deep. He's trying to make a run around the outside of Adam Malone, who is blinking a little bit, but he'll hold on the outside. And Andy Barber just in behind there as well. So Todd Maxfield really making a run around the outside and trying to be up with his teammates, and it'll be the Sim Boys in 1, 3 and 4 as we take lap number 15 here for round number 10 of the Oz Oval Series here from Kentucky, mate. So the Sim Boys back to the front. They're wanting to run together. Craig Roffey's the one in between the sandwich. Don't bite off the Southern Stars guys in behind as well. Pete Matson's there as well. But lap 15 and 120, these boys are setting themselves up for what's going to be a great race.
I was going to say 15 laps in, that went very quickly.
Yeah, it definitely did, mate. Went really quickly. Really quickly. And it's going to go even quicker as we get on. But Davidson still leads the race over Roffey, Donnelly, Maxfield, Malone, Barber. As we go down the back straight, I'm a bit concerned on what's going on with Adam Malone's blinking at the moment, as he makes a big dive into 3 and 4 and he disappears. But the guys around him obviously knows where he is, and they're just racing him the way that they should be. They know where he is. Maxfield there and Donnelly making a big run around the outside as Adam Malone blinks away again and makes a good run into 1 and 2. He'll clear Cade Donnelly coming out of 1 and 2, hopefully, and they'll come down the back straight. So Adam Malone now up into the P3 position behind Craig Roffey and Troy Davidson. But I tell you what, it'd have to be unnerving for the guys around them to have Adam Malone blinking like that. Nothing against ads, but that would have to be unnerving.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if you want him to get a bit of a run and drop low, and you know he was on that inside, and then he's suddenly gone. You know, you don't want to risk dropping down there and running into his door when he blinks back, and suddenly you're inside his car.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's very unnerving. But you can see here now we got another road driver in behind there as well, coming up. But Andy Barber making the move there on, I believe that's Gary Wellman. So Andy Barber and Gary Wellman side by side here, lap 19. They'll want to work with each other though, to be honest with you, Paul. The way that this race has gone so far, we've gone green 19 into 120. So these guys really want to work with each other and try and gain some positions or try and range up onto the back of the people in front of them, because if the way that the racing has gone so far, 19 into 120, and I don't mean to put the cart in front of the horse at all, but 19 into 120, if we do go long, green flag racing, you don't want to get left behind. So you need to work together and put yourself in a position to be able to capitalise on that as we get in the back end of the race. I know I'm putting the cart in front of the horse, we've still got 100 to go, but you don't want to get left behind at this time of the race if we're going to go green.
Yeah, well, speaking of putting themselves in a position at the moment, you got Craig Roffey up there in second, but just back a little bit, you got most of his team in the line there. You got Shane Roffey in 9th, Perry Anastakis in 10th, and Rick Vincent in 11th, followed by Tony Roffey in 12th. So those Rogue boys have got themselves in a bit of a group back there as well, so they're probably looking to just cruise around together at the moment and see how the race unfolds, what they need to do.
Yeah, they'll be trying to play it out at the moment. We're 21 into 120. I'm not sure how the fuel drop's going to go with how many laps they're going to get before we're going to see green flag pit stops, if we do see that. What I'm more interested to see at the moment is the championship. So Jamie Nankervis, who's up in the championship at the moment, back in the 14th position. He'll be there or thereabouts as we come through the back end of the race. But Troy Davidson, really a clean set of heels at the front, showing a really, really good pace ahead of Craig Roffey. Adam Malone made his way back up into P number 3. Cade Donnelly in 4th. Todd Maxfield up into 5th. Gary Wellman, Andy Barber, your 6 and 7. Pete Matson, don't write off him from the Orbit car from Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Big shout out to you, Pete. And they're in the 8th position. Shane Roffey and Parry Anastakis in 10th. It's going to come from anywhere at the moment. Rick Vincent, don't write off him as well. We got Phil Butler down there in 21st, which of course my teammate, I'm going to talk about him, but it can come from anywhere and there can be cautions. But at the moment, these guys at the front, 24 into 120, they've got a clean set of heels at the front and they're making good ground on the rest of the field at the moment. And Davison, Roffey, Donnelly, Malone, Maxfield, Wellman, they're doing a great job and they're just going to keep circulating, mate. And it looks like these top 10 are making a little bit of a gap over the field.
Yeah, got Roffey back there in 12th with Shannon Wright, just dropping off the pack a little bit with Nankervis just behind him. But, even in that lead pack, the top 3 just getting a little bit of a lead there over Maxfield, and then there's another little break just behind Donnelly there. So little gaps just coming out of the fields, but that'll close up again into the corners, and we'll see if these top 10 guys can leave the rest of the pack behind.
Yeah, I don't think they will. We'll just go back to Jamie Nankervis, if you don't mind, Kobe. Jamie Nankervis, you can see there just at the back end of this lead pack. He'll make his way up there, and he knows what he's doing in the supercar, so on the oval. So he'll just make his way back up there at the moment. He's a championship contender. He's not in a great position right now in regards to championship points, but in this race, that is. But he is right in behind a Rogue Sim sports car, and he will be able to push himself up onto the back of this lead group. So just have a look as we go 28 laps now into 120. Just have a look at this little 3-car battle here, and if they work together, it doesn't look like they want to. Jamie just wants to go straight past. He probably should have wanted to work with the car in front to make his way up into the battle in front to get to the battle lead, but he obviously feels like he's got some pace in that car, as it looks like he's going to clear him here through 3 and 4, and he's going to make his way up into the next position, and we'll see what happens, mate. But I reckon these guys in this backpack here, just behind the leaders, they're going to drag up onto the leaders very, very quickly, and it's a total different type of race. But in saying that, we go back to the front. Look how much they were losing at the background, but Adam Malone there on the outside, Craig Roffey, Troy Davidson still leading the way here, lap 28. But Paul, I'll let you take over, mate. I was just trying to create a little bit of excitement there. It didn't look like that was going to happen with Jamie, but Troy Davidson leading the way, 29 into 120 here for round 10 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval Series from Kentucky.
Yeah, well, just with Jamie, obviously, got the job done there on one of the Roffey cars, but he's got his teammate there with him, Shannon Wright, just in front, so he's going to be running with him, and they'll probably try and work their way up. But we've got 3 wide there for 4th, 5th, 6th there at the moment. Got Donnelly, Wellman, and Maxfield there. They're and Andy Barber's trying to get his nose in there, so we could be getting that 4 wide coming very, very soon there.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a little bit excited here, Paul. So I'm just going to step back a little bit and just chill out, because I think we're going to get excited. Todd Maxfield there on the outside going a little bit high, and Andy Barber will get the job done. He'll fall in behind Gary Wellman here down the front stretch, as it still is Troy Davidson into 1 and 2 over Craig Roffey, Adam Malone, Cade Donnelly and Gary Wellman, your 5. But it's definitely about to spice up. You can see now everyone in behind, they're starting to catch up. So we're seeing tyre wear now. I'm not sure on what the fuel strat is and when they need to pit. I'm not privy to that information, but at the moment they're definitely getting closer, and your top 11 is under 0.2 of a second as Troy Davidson takes you across the line for lap 32 of 120 here at round number 10 at Kentucky. But I tell you what, they're all just playing a little bit of a watching brief at the moment, and while they do that, Paul, how about we go to a little bit of an ad, and we'll go to an ad and we'll come back and we'll take you through the pit stops and tell you how your favourite driver is going here for round number 10 of the Oz Oval Series, brought to you by Everything Simulated here from Kentucky.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So we are just on to lap 37 of 120 with the Oz Oval V8 supercars. And with that, we've got to be getting close to pit stops shortly. I think we'll probably see pit stops happening maybe in the next 5 or so laps. So I'm predicting, Aidan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no idea with relation as we go back to an instant replay. We'll come and revisit that, but not sure who's going through pit lane there at the moment, whether that is a scheduled pit stop or what that is. So not sure who that is at the moment. Kobe, if you could tell me that.
And Terry Marwood.
Terry Marwood through pit lane. So not sure if that was scheduled, but he's through pit lane, and that's probably a good segue to your question right there, Paul. So not sure what's going to happen with the pit stops here and how far they can go. We are 38 into 120. Troy Davidson off into the distance at the moment, not into the distance per se, as Craig Roffey is right behind him. Cade Donnelly and Gary Wellman, year 4. Andy Barber just in behind them, just 0.8 of a second behind. Not sure with what that pit strategy is going to look like at the moment. I think 39 out of 120, you're going to be looking about lap 50 to 55, I'd suggest. Maybe with 70% drop or the drop. Yeah, we're going to see in the next 5 or 6 laps, to be honest. Well, I don't know. Throw it up in the air. I don't know. Oh, see me guessing there, Paul. I got no idea. Throw it up in the air. We're about to find out where they pit. But at the moment, Davidson, Roffey, Donnelly, Wellman, Barber at the front. And that's the front of the motor race at the moment. Davidson's done a great job tonight, Paul. He's led pretty much from start to finish over Craig Roffey. Cade Donnelly doing a great job, and Gary Wellman in your top 4. And these guys have sort of spread their wings at the front and made a little bit of a gap over Andy Barber and Shane Roffey and Pariana Starkus in the background. So they're showing a lot of good pace on the long run. So if this goes green to the end, they're going to have a lot of good pace. But you know what? There's a lot of different things to worry about as Todd Maxfield now comes down the pit lane. So we're starting to see the first of the blinkers. So we're about to see green flag pit stops, Paul. So you read it, 41, you guessed it. We're about to see it as everything simulated go too wide around the outside there. But back to the front, I'm not sure when they're going to pit. But Paul, what do you reckon? 42 into 120, these front guys are going to pit anytime soon, I'd suggest, from what we've seen by the guys that have blinked first.
Yeah, definitely, and probably would have been good to maybe see, you know, Donnelly, Wellman, maybe just drop off a lap earlier each. You know, obviously they're going to work together, but, you know, that can cause a little bit of pit road congestion as well when you got your top 4 drivers there all coming down pit lane at the same time there. But it looks like that's Malone in the background. He's chose to make his stop now, and he's coming down pit lane.
Yeah, so 42 laps looks like it's the magical number for the guys as he comes down pit lane. Adam Malone, your pole sitter and your early leader before Troy Davidson took the lead. But on board now, you can see, or not on board rather, you can see on your pictures, I believe that is Maxfield. He's been taken over by, is that Jamie Nankervis? I believe that might be.
Yeah, that's Jamie in front of him, yep.
Yeah, in the everything simulated. So he's doing a great job, just trying to make up. But now everyone's trying to sort of transition through their pit stops. We've had a couple of people come through pit lane, and I'll actually have a look at that because I've got my live timing. So, Paul, I'll let you take over for a minute, and I'll bring back and let you know what's going on.
Well, it definitely looks like maybe a little bit of mixed strategy now, maybe an undercut coming in. I think Troy Davidson's about to pull the plug here at the front. He's just jumped on the comms, so we're on to 45, coming up to 46. So he's about to make his way down pit road now. But the next 3, Roffey, Donnelly and Wellman, they're all staying out another lap. So bit of fuel saving there going on from the front guys as well with their pace, and you know they've sort of pulled away from the field a bit, and they're even extending on the fuel load. So they've got a really good strategy going for them at the moment.
Yeah, they do, mate. 46 and 120 are doing a great job. So we'll see how that plays out as the race does transition into the mid to back stages. Gary Wellman getting a run on the outside there of Craig Roffey down the front straight. Cade Donnelly as well in second place. Cade Donnelly now the incumbent leader of this motor race, ahead of Craig Roffey and Gary Wellman. So Cade Donnelly doing a great job tonight. Been through pit lane a lap later than everyone else, and now he takes the lead of the motor race. I tell you what, who is the biggest loser at the moment, and we're about to find out. Troy Davidson. He was leading this motor race. We'll see where he comes out when everything comes to fruition. At the moment, he might have had a little bit of an issue through pit lane because he's nowhere to be seen, Paul. Not even in the top 10. Troy Davidson leading the motor race, nowhere to be seen.
Well, he's come out in 14th there, Aiden, so I just went back through the field. So he's out in 14th.
Right. So my live timing's not catching up on me, so I do apologise.
As they go over the line, he's actually in 15th, and he's got Malone there behind him as well, about 0.2 of a second just behind him there in 16th. So not a bad stop, but Andy Barber's actually in front of Troy Davidson. So Andy's had a really good pit stop as well. So this is going to be interesting to see as the front guys are now making their way through the pit road as well, I think.
Yeah, it's really hard to know who we're looking at the moment. It's really hard.
So I just got Donnelly coming through pit lane. Wellman's still out there going for lap
Amy
number
Nankervis,
50.
Cade Donnelly now down through pit lane. So Cade Donnelly, who I was saying who just took the lead of the motor race, he's now down through pit lane. So he's going to serve his stop now, lap 50 into 120. You can see the Roffey boys coming out of pit lane, and they're going to get their compulsory stop done. There will be another one as well. We'll see where they wind up, but at the same time as well, Gary Wellman coming down through pit lane, and he'll make his first stop of the night as well. So sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting a little bit excited with all the different pit strategies, but we're just trying to catch up with our new live timing things and everything that we look at. So we're just trying to catch up on that, but we'll see how they go. And Vincent's in pit lane as well as Cade Donnelly. Now's coming out of pit lane. You can see Adam Malone there on the background. Andy Barber, what a stop he's at. He's taken the lead of this motor race, I think, Paul, in front of Troy Davidson. So I think Andy Barber's been the big beneficiary here through the pit stop cycle.
Yeah, definitely. I was just scrolling through everyone, and that's what I mentioned. Like, yeah, he looked like he had a really good stop there and positioned himself in front of Troy Davidson. So he got the job done. Wellman there, you can see he's just leaving pit road as well. So he's going to have a little bit of work to do to catch up. You got Roffey and Malone there side by side. But this is really good for Andy Barber. He's got Malone just there in the background in third as well. So they're fourth, sorry, and yeah, they're going to be wanting to link up as well and work together now as Barber's leading the race at lap 52 of 120.
Yeah, a long way to go. You can see Troy Davidson and Craig Roffey there on the inside. They're wanting to make their move to the front, but we saw this earlier in the early stint where Andy Barber just jumped off the back a little bit. Admittedly, he did pit a little bit earlier just to try and get the undercut on them, and he's done that. But he's just running the car a little bit higher at the moment to try and save those tyres and to be able to be there at the end. There will be one more compulsory pit stop if we do go green, as Cade Donnelly now wants to get amongst the fight, and he's going to take the position over Andy Barber, and Andy Barber's also going to give that one up to Gary Wellman. But these six guys at the front, this is the battle for the lead here for round number 10 of the Oz Oval Series here from Kansas Speedway, brought to you by Everything Simulators. I hope you are all enjoying it. We're enjoying it. Hope everyone tuning in here on Quasi Esports are enjoying the Oval Series, the Supercar Oval Series, albeit a little bit different. Supercars on an oval. This racing in the top six of Roffey, Davidson, Donnelly, Malone, Wellman and Barber are off into the distance at the moment here for round number 10, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. So we saw a couple of guys, Wellman and Rick Vincent there. They managed to drag out 50 laps out of a tank. So, if they can do that again, they're going to have a very short stop, and it could benefit them towards the end of this race. But as we saw, the undercut did work really well for Andy Barber too. So if he can pull that one off again, we're going to have a good race towards the back end of this for our top six drivers here.
Yeah, at the moment, there could be cautions as well, I agree, but it's all about track position. I think it's okay to be able to back off and try and understand your field strat, but it's all about track position at the moment, and these top six are running off into the distance. The guys behind at the moment, in my honest opinion, are going to be waiting on a caution, hopefully having a caution to be able to get back into it, because if we go green, these guys at the moment are doing a great job. Led by Craig Roffey, Troy Davidson now has decided he's going to sit in the second position. So in the first stint, he decided to lead the race. Now he's gone the other way, and he goes, I've spent too much time in pit lane. I'm going to sit there and save some fuel. And he's got help by Cade Donnelly as well there in the third place. But Gary Wellman as well. So three teammates, second, third and fourth, all playing the same strategy. And then you've got two teammates behind, Andy Barber and Adam Malone. So different strategies playing out at the moment. And they would have seen what happened through their green flag run, even though they've been quick at the front. But they would have seen what happened, and when they went through pit stops and gone, okay, well, Andy Barber, I know right now Craig Roffey and Troy Davison will be saying, okay, Andy jumped me through the pits, but I've been able to get him because he undercut me and I got a little bit better tyres. But at the same time, we're going to get into the back end of this race where when they pit, there's only going to be 10, 15 laps to go or 20 laps to go. So it's going to be totally different. So this is a jostling of what's going to happen as we get into the back end of this race and these guys trying to figure out where they want to be, rather. Who wants to blink first? Who wants to go in? We're about to find out. We went 50 laps green before the first blinker into pit lane. It's a 120 lap race. That leaves 20 to go. Who's going to be the first one to blink? We're about to find out as Davidson, Donnelly and Roffey into 3 and 4 are your 3 here for round number 10, mate.
I was just about to say who wants to be where, and Davison and Donnelly just made the move around Craig Roffey there to take the top 2 spots as they're just coming up to a lap car now. That'll be Shannon Wright in P20 there.
Well, Shannon Wright is about to get lapped. Unfortunate for Shannon as we go on behind him, but we are now half race distance here for round 10 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval Series from Kentucky Speedway. But Shannon, he's had a bit of a tough night. I don't know what's happened to Shannon tonight, but he's about to unfortunately go 1 lap down as Troy Davison. He still wants to lead this motor race, Paul. So we've seen this in the first stint. I thought he was going to sit there in behind, I think it was Craig Roffey there, in this second stint, and he's decided to lead it from the front again. So he's very, very comfortable leading this pack at the front.
Yeah, well, you still get the bonus points for leading the most laps, I believe, if that hasn't changed. So, of course, you know, if he's going to be up the front there, then he's going to be getting those extra couple of bonus points, which will help out the championship. But a little bit of comms going on in the background. Not too sure what's happening there.
Yeah, now you sort out the comms as we say that. Troy Davison just going back into 3rd position. Looks like Cade Donnelly wanting to take the lead of the race now over Craig Roffey. Troy Davison going to really sit in the draft there as well. You can see in the background Wellman, Barbara Malone just having a stalking brief, but Cade Donnelly wanting the lead of this motor race, 63 into 120 as we go past halfway. And he's trying to make a real good run. He's not going to get out of the draft as Craig Roffey and Troy Davison, his teammate, will catch him up. But we've got Shannon Wright on the inside. He's not making it easy for anyone, nor should he. He doesn't need to get out of the road, and he's on the inside. So we'll see whether they make their way forward. But Cade Donnelly will be like, please get out of my draft and let me go. But that's not going to happen. As you can see, Roffey into 1 and 2 this time for the 64th time of asking, getting a good run. Troy Davison just staying on the outside there in 3rd place, just trying to navigate his way around Shannon Wright. And you can see Gary Wellman, Andy Barber and Adam Malone in behind as well. But Troy Davison has made his way past Shannon Wright, and it looks like Gary Wellman has as well. So look out for it to really clinch or tighten up at the front here as Cade Donnelly leads the way, 64 into 120 here for round 10 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval Series from Kentucky.
We've got Terry Marwood that's in the pit lane at the moment as well, so lap 56 for him, so it looks like he might have maybe parked that car up perhaps.
Yeah, not sure what happened there with Terry. That's unfortunate to have his car behind the wall. His teammates actually with Jamie Nankervis and Shannon Wright, who we've spoken about. Jamie Nankervis coming into this round was in the top 3 or 4 in the championship. He's sitting back in 10th at the moment in this race, so this is not beneficial for his championship hopes as we're late in the season, round number 10. He can be there or thereabouts. He's in behind Paul Drady at the moment, and he'll be there or thereabouts, I'll guarantee you, at the back of this race if we do get a late caution. But at the moment, it's for these guys to lose. Donnelly, Roffey, Wellman, Davidson, Barber, Malone as they're trying to navigate lap traffic again. It looks like that is Gary Wellman trying to make a run there up into P number 1. So Gary Wellman, after sitting behind them for a little while, goes from like 8th or 9th up into the front, and Gary Wellman takes the lead, and Cade Donnelly on the outside there. So these positions are definitely going to change. Andy Barber wanting a part of it as well, up into the 4th position as we cross the line here for lap 67. So I think this is the calm before the storm here, Paul. We're nearly 3 wide into 1 and 2. Have a look at this. Nearly 3 and 4 wide into 1 and 2. We're only 68 into 120, lads. Calm it down. We've got a lot of time to go, and we're going down the back straight. But Cade Donnelly and Craig Roffey will lead the way. But I tell you what, if you want a little bit of an entree to the main, you just saw it right there, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say before, when they go, it's like they're just giving us little bits of teasers, you know. They're just teasing us with a little bit of action here, just making us sit forward on our seats here, just spice things up maybe. Are we going to see a little bit of action, or make us, you know, have to recline our seat again?
Yeah, the way they're driving at the moment, you can see Cade Donnelly really wanting to lead at the front. And, of course, Craig Roffey, he's a stalwart of the series and a great driver. He'll be there or thereabouts at the end of this one. Troy Davidson, of course, I think he's up in the championship, not your championship leader. Andy Barber up there in the championship as well, and Gary Wellman doing a great job. But I reckon this is the calm before the storm. You can see them all just feeling each other out and just seeing where their cars are going to play. Like I said, we're looking for probably another 30 laps before we're going to see somebody pit, if we do go green flag racing. So I need to stress that, ladies and gentlemen, everyone tuning in here on Quasi Esports, if we go green flag racing, it looks like we will. 30 laps to go. It is Roffey, Donnelly, Davidson, Barber and Wellman, your 5. We've got a big group of 7 or 8 at the front now. Parry Anastakis, if you don't mind, has joined the fray. Parry Anastakis has decided, I want a part of this, as he pushes down into 3 and 4 in the Rogue Sim Sports car. So Parry Anastakis, after coming off a good result last week, he's pushed his way up into the top 8. We haven't spoken about him all night, Paul, and now he's here, 71 into 120, and now part of this motor race.
Yeah, definitely. He's been pushing Shane Roffey's teammate there up as well. They had about 3 seconds behind this top 6, so they've really closed that gap up over the last sort of 15-20 laps. And yeah, now they're just hanging on the back of this pack there, so they've got a little bit of work to do to get around that lap car of Shane Wright, but they've come to play.
They have, mate. They dropped off a little bit in the background there, and don't write off Drady and Jamie Nankervis in the background as well. They might be a little bit behind this pack, but if we saw anything what we just saw then with the likes of Anastakis and Roffey catching the back, is these guys keep playing tic-to-toe at the front. You can see Jamie Nankervis just in the background there in 10th position. They'll pull up onto the back of this lead group. But Craig Roffey at the moment, he's still leading the way over Cade Donnelly and Troy Davidson. Andy Barber still sitting there. But these guys have got to be very careful. See those 3 cars in the background there, Paul? I reckon they're going to be there or thereabouts in the next 5 or 10 laps. And that's the likes of Nankervis, Vincent and Maxfield, if they can play together. And these guys at the front keep fighting. But before we bring you that action, let's go to another ad break. We're lap 74 here for round 10 of the Everything Simulated Oz Oval Series, brought to you by Quasi Esports. We'll go to another ad break and we'll bring you back all the action and the final stages here for round number 10 from Kansas.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Thanks for the little break there, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 10 here from Kentucky Speedway. We are absolutely on at the front. Craig Rothie, Kate Donnelly and Troy Davidson leading your way here for round number 10. Paul, I'll bring you back in, mate. You can see up in the left-hand side of your screens, ladies and gentlemen, last time since they pit. So we did say earlier, and this is a little bit of a different discussion, Paul, and we'll talk as virtual race car drivers and what we experienced. And what they're going through at the moment. They got about 50 laps in fuel through that first stint. Andy Barber wanting to make a real charge for the front there on the outside of the second row, around the outside of Cade Donnelly. But you can see the last time since pit, so Craig Rothie 34 laps. Andy Barber, who's making that big charge on the outside, 37 laps. Cade Donnelly 33 laps since he's last been through pit lane. And Troy Davidson 37 laps. So a lot of different strategies at the moment. They're going to be able to get to the end whenever they pit, but who's going to blink? Who's going to blink? Who's going to take tyres as well? Because if you don't take tyres and you just take the fuel, you're stationary less in pit lane depending how much fuel you want to take. So a lot of strategy happening at the moment. And I can see there's a little bit of urgency by the guys, as you can see Andy Barber trying to make his way around the outside through turns number 3 and 4, this time making his way up to the front. So interesting to see what's going to happen here, Paul, but so many strategies playing out.
Speaking of urgency, Rick Vincent's moved his way up to P5 now. So he's just come through on that inside, and looked like Jamie Nankervis was trying to follow but couldn't quite get there, as Adam Malone's still got a little bit of a blink here and there, but Rick Vincent's on a big power move here. He's coming through, and he wants to say, I want to lead a few laps there, boys. Get out of my way. here we'll keep it going. So we're talking about those pit strategies, and yeah, we had Andy Barber and Troy Davidson there. So they're 40 laps ago, so they pitted around the 46 mark, which that sort of gives them another 6 odd laps here until they pit, which we know the boys can probably squeeze out another 4 laps in that as well. So we did see the undercut work quite well for Andy Barber, and we'll see if that's going to work again. But he's just up there on the high side there, trying to get around the outside of Craig Roffey, and in behind them they got Kay Donnelly and Troy Davidson there on the outside as well. So looks like we're almost getting a little bit of door action here. They're getting a bit close there. Andy just trying to rub the door there and trying to keep it tight, which Roffey's moving down to the low side. Just shut the door there on Donnelly, sorry. He was getting a bit of a run. I think Aiden's gone. He must have flew over to Kansas, as he just said earlier. So we are at Kentucky Speedway, and lap 88 for 120. So it looks like Aiden's just dropped out, so he might have had a bit of a connection issue there. But we do have Andy Barber, who's now taken that lead over Roffey. So we are coming up to pit stops very shortly, and we'll do our best here to keep going and bring you all the action, as the lead man on the mic has just dropped out. But we got Barber, Roffey, Donnelly, Davidson and Rick Vincent there, your top 5, followed by Wellman, Malone, Nankervis, Shane Roffey and Parry Anastakis, just rounding out your top 10 there. So we're on lap 90 now, just coming into, I think that's turn 2, out of turn 2, down the back straight here. Got Donnelly on the inside there, looking to make the moves. And Rick Vincent moving up into P4 now. We've got 30 laps to go, so just in the background, some of the drivers now in the back half of this race are making their way down pit lane, so they're getting a little bit of an earlier stop. And Donnelly got that job done, as Rick Vincent now is coming through on the inside there as we go. Donnelly getting a little bit of a gap now out there. We've got Davidson on a flyer down the inside. And Mr. Aiden Schultz has no internet, so looks like I'll be bringing you home unless we can get someone else into the booth. But we'll do our best here. Donnelly's got a nice little half a second lead there. Andy Barber now coming down pit lane. So Andy's made the jump at 92. So again, that's 46 laps. So 2 46 lap stints for Andy Barber there. And we'll see how that earlier pit stop will play out for him this time now. As Donnelly's still got that half a second. Can't quite hear you. And it looks like the whole field now at the front here is coming down pit lane. So we've got Donnelly, Davidson, Roffey in the background there. So Rick Vincent's chosen to stay out along with Wellman. So Wellman's your leader at this point in time, as we knew he could get 50 laps out of the tank. So he's probably going to look at doing the same stop as last time, getting those 50 laps and just a hard dash on 20 laps to go to green to the checkered flag. So Rick Vincent up there in P2 as He was doing quite a good job there, followed by Philip Butler in behind him as he had early stopper there. So we're just making our pit stop transitions, so we'll see how everything's going to play out in the next few laps as the rest of the field will make their stops. So you got Nankervis and Drady there with 47 laps, sorry, and Wellman and Vincent now race leaders there with 45. So you got Shane Roffey and Perry Anastakis. Looked like they've had a really good pit stop there. They just jumped the front there on Davidson and Barber. So looks like they had a really good stop there, made up a couple of spots. And, just on board there, well, on cars, Roffey there with Todd Maxfield there, just in front of him. Todd Maxfield is back in, he's down in 20th there, so not a good race for him. He was up the front there at the start and showing a bit of pace there, but not the night he probably would have had in mind tonight coming into the race at Kentucky Speedway. We've still got Wellman out there leading the way. Now on to lap 99 of 120. So I dare say I'd be looking at making that pit stop in the next lap or two. And that'll no doubt have Rick Vincent follow him down pit lane as well. But I think we just got Troy Mortensen there maybe? We just had on screen. But, we're back with Wellman the moment, so we'll just keep an eye on Wellman, see when he is going to make that pit stop as he's coming in now. He left a little bit late and he managed to pull that up, I think just in time, as it looked like he was going to stay out an extra lap with Vincent going in early, but he made that move to get into pit lane and just managed to pull that up in time. So that'll give Craig Roffey now the lead of this race when he comes around, and he's got a massive gap over Shane Roffey and Troy Davidson and Andy Barber and Perry Anastakis at the moment. So he's almost got half the back straight over the next few cars. So whatever Craig Roffey's done in his pit stop, he has absolutely smashed that stop. And he's got a nice big gap over everyone. So Wellman now coming out of pit lane. It looks like Rick Vincent's got the pit lane job done on Wellman. So he's jumped that spot there as well. But as you can see there, Craig Roffey is almost over a second gap now on Rick Vincent. So it's quite a really good pit stop there for Roffey, and he's got his teammate in there behind him as well, so that's going to help him out with 20 to go. Looks like Wellman's going to want to make those moves done on Rick Vincent there for P2 as well, so Gary's just getting that job done, moving himself up into P2, and he's going to be on the hunt now for Roffey. But Rick Vincent's going to want to help his teammate here, and they're going to, have a bit of a battle back and forth here for P2 and 3. He's not going to make it easy. They are closing that gap on Craig Roffey, so that's how quick that 1 second gap's already dropped over 0.6 of a second, and they've already closed up that gap, so things are starting to heat up already, but we've still got 19 laps to go, and we won't get too excited yet. I'm sure if Aiden was here, he'd be saying that in the air. Well, looks like Rick Vincent now making the move for P1, so I don't think Rick's led a lap yet, so he'll get that job done if he can keep that through turns 3 and 4. and he'll get that bonus point locked in. And I'm just going to probably have, Wellman, Roffey, they're just going to be sitting there now. They're going to probably do a bit of back and forth dicing, but they'll be just buying their time now. They've got a nice lead there over Jamie Nankervis, who's up in P4 now, so that's going to help him with his championship, as he was down in the race earlier. But as we said, that just sitting back, letting the race unfold, and now Jamie's found himself up inside the top 5, sitting there in P4. And we've just got Andy Barber there in the background with Paul Drady. So we haven't really talked much about Paul Drady tonight either. He's up in P7. So he's come up through the field as well through the night, and he's found himself inside the top 10 now, having a battle with Jamie Nankervis there. Looks like he's just got that job done on Andy Barber there. So just looking back at the leaders. Oh, no, coming back here to Andy Barber. So got Shane Roffey just sitting in behind him with Parry Anastakis as well in the background there. And they had a pretty good run up to the rear of the field. Sorry, the rear of the front pack earlier. So we'll see if they can close that gap again. We're on lap 106 of 120 with 15 to go. So it's going to be a little bit of hard work now to close those gaps as the laps run out. But let's see if we might be able to get a few more cars back to that lead pack and have a big field for the last few laps. But we've got Wellman there sitting in P2, Rick Vincent your leader, followed by Roffey and Nankervis. Looks like we're just coming through some lap traffic as well. So Rick Vincent just coming up on the back of Troy Mortensen now on P16. And in front of Troy, we've got Jared Williams in 15th. So a little bit of a race there for 15th and 16th as well, as the race is still unfolding. Some lap traffic to play into contention as well in these last handful of laps. So the boys probably won't want to get caught up behind them for too long and risk losing much of that gap that they do have over the other guys. So we want to get that move done fairly quickly, get around the lap traffic and hope that they slow down some of the other guys behind them, as Troy Mortensen there just moves right down low out of the way for him. So nice job there from Troy. So Roffey's just dropped off the back here of Vincent and Wellman. So maybe that maybe there was a bit of an undercut there, maybe no tyres from Roffey, which may be hurting him now possibly, but I dare say there was probably something in his pit strategy there that helped him out. But it looks like Wellman's trying to make a move around the outside now, and sitting up high there trying to use that draft from Jared Williams, but couldn't quite get the move along. But around the start line there, it looks like it's pulling him around a bit more. But just through the corner there, it looks like Vincent's got the pace coming through the corner. So along the straights and that, the draft there's helping Wellman just to pull through, but obviously they're going to get around that lapped car, and then obviously he's not going to have that benefit there. So we'll have to use Rick to try and get a good run so he can try and get to the race lead here, as they're going quite close there, almost a bit of contact, and Roffey just coming back on him as well. So that draft definitely playing into an effect there, as Roffey had dropped off a little bit, but now he's back into the mix of things as well. Just on the roof cam there of Roffey, so you can see how quickly he gets up behind his teammate there. and then they just back off for the corner, lets the car roll through the corner there, as Rick Vincent will still be on the loud pedal coming out of the corner. So Craig Roffey really using that draft to get right up behind him and then back off for the corner and just let the car roll through the corner there. I don't think he'd be wanting to put the car through the middle there just yet. We've still got 7 laps to go. We've just got in the background there. Looks like yeah, I reckon that's the lap car. So this is our race for the top 3 here at the moment. So you got Rick Vincent, Gary Wellman, and Craig Roffey, who are all racing for those top 3 podium spots there. And you got Jamie Nankervis back and forth with Troy Davidson in 5, and looks like they've got their hands full as well in the background there. They've got a bit of a battle going on just behind them for those lower spots there in the background, but we'll stay up here at the front with our race leaders, and we've got 6 laps to go now. Craig Roffey really trying to help Rick Vincent, give him a push, but looks like Wellman's now finally got that job done around the outside, so looks like that outside line's definitely the quicker line around the track. And we'll see if Craig Roffey's going to try and make that move on his teammate as he drops to the inside now. So he's looking for the dive up the inside hard on the brake so he doesn't wash up into his teammate. They just have to wipe off that speed. So if he can try and get to that outside, he might get that move around his teammate there. Lap 117 of 120 at Kentucky Speedway Oval. Brought to you by Inside Lane Productions through Oz Oval V8 Supercars and Quasi Esports. Things are really heating up here. Looking like they want to push the 3 wide, but obviously 2 teammates there don't want to get into each other. So Rick Vincent on the inside, Roffey in the middle there, and Wellman outside. So, and with this battle going on at the front, we've got a few cars in the background now quickly closing up. So we got Troy Davidson, Andy Barber, and Paul Drady. Sorry, Jamie Nankervis here, and they're coming up through the back here as well. So they'll have a couple of lap cars to get around, but we've only got 2 laps to go. So things are definitely going to heat up. They want to try and make quick work of those lap cars so they can try and get onto this pack, but I'm not sure if they're going to quite be able to get it done as Troy Mortensen moves up high, letting those cars around. So we've got some chasers here in the background, and we've got final lap. The white flag's out. A little bit of a touch there from Wellman on Roffey. Wellman on the outside, Roffey on the inside as we're making our way back down the back straight to turns 3 and 4. Little bit of brake there from Roffey. And Wellman on the outside. Not sure if Roffey's got enough pace there. He's going to drop low, and I'm not sure if he's going to quite get the drag race done on Wellman, who Wellman is going to take the checkered flag over Roffey, followed by Rick Vincent in P3. And we had a clean green race here at Kentucky Speedway tonight, so I'm sure all the boys would have loved that. Good hard racing through the night, and no cautions, so that'll definitely make things easy for the race admins tonight. We'll stay here with Wellman. He's going to have his celebratory burnout and light that Ford Mustang up. Wellman, our championship leader currently, so that's definitely going to help his championship points, extend that lead with a race win there. And he's going to smoke those tyres up and pop a set. But we'll go through our race standings. And in first place there we have Gary Wellman. Second place Craig Roffey with a very close finish in second place. Rick Vincent in third, Troy Davidson in fourth, and Jamie Nankervis in fifth. Paul Drady sixth, Andy Barber in seventh, Shane Roffey in eighth, ninth was Parry Anastakis, followed by 10th place with Adam Malone. 11th spot Philip Butler, 12th Peter Matson, 13th Tony Roffey, 14th Adam Ariel, 15th Jared Williams, Troy Mortensen in 16th, Tristan Koch in 17th, Cade Donnelly back in 18th. So not sure what happened to Cade tonight. He was a front runner for most of this tonight, so it's a little bit sad to see Cade down in 18th there. He was having a good run. 19th with Shannon Wright, Todd Maxfield in 20th. Terry Marwood in 21st, and Lottie Tompkins, who probably didn't start the race there, in 22nd. And it looks like Wellman's moved to pit lane now to fry up a set. So he's having a good time out there, but we might go to a quick ad and then we'll bring up our podium place finishes for a quick interview.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone, and thanks for tuning back in and staying with us. We've got our podium up in the booth, and we'll kick things off with Rick Vincent, our third place winner tonight. So Rick, how you going?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Yeah, had a pretty slow start to the race. Yeah, would have tried to hang back. I think a couple of weeks ago I stuffed up on me fuel stops and really wrecked my race because I had to hit at the end, so I just thought I'd hang back and just take it easy and try and stretch the fuel out, and it sort of worked out really well for me in the end. Myself and Gary, we both had really fresh tyres, 20 laps to go, so but I sort of underfueled myself because I was saving fuel. I put a couple of laps back in, but kept running hard. I just didn't put enough in. But yeah, great race. Congratulations to Gary. Great to see Craig. 2 road cars in the top 3. So yeah, and a new sponsor for us, MD Sports. They're doing some team shirts for us and that. So welcome aboard to them, and thank you very much. And my sponsor is Elite Repairs for the computer. I only just got a brand new computer 2 weeks ago, and it's doing really well.
That's good news then. So yeah, did notice you sort of worked your way through the field tonight. A little bit of a slow start, but you're at the right end of the race when it finished, so when it mattered. And yeah, I noticed the MD Sports. I actually thought it said Mo Sports when I first read it on the window banner, but as you see there, the road cars just roll by, MD Sports. So give them a bit of a shout out. And yeah, the computer's obviously doing its job too for you, new computer, and performance-wise, it must be doing a good job for you.
Oh, it's great. It's up close to 200 frames a second with a full field, so yeah, no, it's I've never really had computer problems, but thought I'd the old one was 4 years old once, so I decided to get a new one, and Elite come to the party and gave us a really good computer, so yeah, been really happy with it. So
yeah, good stuff. Well, good job on the race tonight, coming in home in P3 there, and obviously, you know, you got your sponsors there. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to say a big thank you to the wife. She puts up with a lot of shit out of me and letting me spend a lot of money on my sim rig and that. So yeah, and the road team, great team to race with, except for at Pocono when I took out Craig. But yeah, that's a few races ago. I'll let him talk about that. But yeah, no, that's it, mate. Congratulations to Gary on the win.
Well, thanks for coming saying hi to us in the booth, and well done tonight. And yeah, we won't talk about those previous races. You can have it out with each other, but you made up for it tonight there. So 2 cars in the top 3, so it's a job well done.
Very happy. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll move on to our second place now with Craig Roffey. Welcome to the booth.
Hey fellas, how are you? It's good to be here.
Yeah, good. We saw a little bit of action there towards the end, and very close finish there with you and Wellman.
Yeah, it's always going to be close with me and Wellman. We've got a bit of a green car rivalry thing going, but no, it's all well and good. Yeah, congrats to Gary and Rick for getting the podiums.
Well, I was just going to say, it must be a green car thing, 1 and 2, with you know, we might have to paint the rest of the field in green cars next season, just to give Steve a bit of a hard time. But that was a good race tonight, and yeah, what did you that second pit stop? You had quite a big gap there over the rest of the pack there after that second stop. So I think 1.5 seconds on the second car, but that sort of quickly came back to you with Rick and Gary.
Yeah, with that, because I was fuel saving the whole time, I didn't take into the account that I would need extra fuel, so I underfilled. So that's why I just took it easy, let them get up in front of me, and then I caught them and then just sat behind them until the last 5, saved what I needed to, and then I just went for it. If I ran out, I ran out, but nah, I think I had 0.2 of a litre or something over the line, so that was, you could say well timed or well planned, but I'll take it.
You think if you you might have had a little bit more in the tank, you might have got that job done?
Well, if I put more in, it would have bring them closer to me anyway. So I think either way, we would have all come together. But yeah, it would have been good to sit in front of him and block Gary. But nah, is what it is, and yeah, it's good to get up here.
Yeah, nice. Well, obviously coming home P2 tonight, and again, 2 road cars in the top 3, so got to be pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, we got what did we get, 4 in the top 10, so that's awesome to see. And the old man Tony got 13th, so 5 in the top 15. We'll take that. That's a win for us.
Yeah, nice. Well done to all the road boys and the team. And you got any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just big shout out to Robin and Jacko from MD Sports. Thanks heaps for coming on board, and we'll look forward to working with you in the coming weeks and in the future. Road fellas, top blokes to race with. Bit of fun, bit of banter. Obviously, have a couple of rounds we'd rather forget about. Say hi to my mum. I didn't realise she watched every week, but she does. So g'day, Ma. And yeah, all you fellas for putting it on behind the scenes, and Steve, he's obviously not in tonight. Hope he gets better, and yeah, all the races. Cheers for coming out every week, and let's do it again next week.
Thanks, mate, and yeah, well, good to see you got a bit of a fan support as well. Obviously, watching you guys race, and I'm sure they would have been cheering for all of you tonight. So well done to you boys.
Cheers, mate.
And we'll move on to our race winner now. So Gary Wellman, no surprise there that we'll see our race championship leader coming home in P1.
Oh, I don't know, I surprised myself, but cheers, Jacko. And yeah, good to hear you having a crack on the commentary too, mate.
It's few and far between, I'm sometimes here, sometimes there, and yeah, since holidays I haven't come back to the rig, so first night back, but the subscription runs out in 2 days, so we might make it back for season 2 maybe. We'll have to put the boots back on and jump back in the car.
Nah, that'd be good, mate. Yeah, it'd be good to see you back in.
Yeah, but all about you at the moment. So race win there. You just got the job done over Craig Roffey, so pretty close finish there.
Yeah, it was. Those boys ran a good race tonight, and yeah, I was enjoying running with Rick there, and I think we almost sort of dropped Craig out of the draft. I thought we had him going with fresher tyres, and then we started battling and got him back in, and then all 3 of us started battling, and the other 3 behind started closing in. So yeah, it was kind of good to hold everyone off and sneak in for the win on Craig there.
Yeah, did notice that Craig dropped out a little bit, as he just mentioned, a little bit of fuel saving there. So obviously had quite a bit of pace there in the draft, helping to bring him back up to you guys to make it a 3-car race for the podium spots there. So that was pretty good to see. And yeah, in the background, obviously, we saw the other boys coming up through as well. So I think if there was another couple of laps there, it would have been a 6-car race for those 3 spots.
Yeah, I reckon, and yeah, that definitely would have made it pretty interesting, and yeah, going 2 and 3 wide. But no, I think that's the first night we haven't had a caution tonight too. So big shout out to everyone for keeping it clean, and it's good fun to run a longer green stint with a bit of strategy and stuff come into it. It's always interesting to see how it pans out at the end.
It's just because Hoppett's away, so didn't want to give him any homework to do. But looking through the field there, we had 1 incident for the incident point for the whole race. So everyone's 0x tonight. So it was a good job by everyone. Some good clean racing all round.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I reckon. Yeah, give everyone a bonus point for that effort. So yeah, nice work.
Yeah, that's the way. So. well done on the win. And your teammates there, what happened to them? They had a bit of a good showing at the start of the race, but they left you out.
Yeah, left me hanging, but Toddy, I think he cooked his tyres and then had a speeding in pits, and Kate had good pace tonight, and he sped in pits too, which sucks, but we've all been there, I suppose. And Troy, I think as he pushed a bit early up front, burned a bit more fuel, and that kind of dropped him off a bit there, but he definitely, he had the pace, no doubt about that. So a couple more laps and he would have been right there mixing it with us too.
Yeah, definitely. Troy coming home in second. In fourth spot, started in second. So, yeah, good race there from Troy as well. So, all round, we race done and dusted. So next week we move on to Kansas. I believe Aiden's already there waiting for you boys. So he thought he was there already halfway through Kentucky, but he had to drop out and catch a flight over to Kansas for next week. So. What are your predictions for next week?
I don't know. I'd like more of the same, but I don't know. I don't think that'll probably happen. But Kansas, she's always a bit of fun. I think it's pretty wide, that track, and she produces some pretty good sort of pack racing. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we'll rock up and get into it.
Alrighty, well we'll let you go and celebrate. But before you do, if there's any sponsors you want to give a shout out to.
Just Sim Boys again. It's good fun with the team there, and United Electrical, Hot Toddies, just the team sponsors as well. Everything simulated, Inside Lane Productions, and the whole Oz Oval team, and you guys and everything for the broadcast. It's always good. Yeah, so Craig and Rick, well done on the podium there, and shout out to the missus as well. She's always tuned in, I think, so put on a good show tonight.
Easy done. So we'll give everyone's missus a shout out, shall we? But putting up with all of us. So
maybe a shout out to Steve too. I don't know if he's tuned in tonight or what, but I don't know what's going on there. But he's created something pretty cool here. So big shout out to Steve, and thanks for all the work that he's done there.
Yeah, well, as we saw there, a special thanks there to Steve Hoppett, putting on the series. We got Kobe Jordan in the booth there behind the cameras, behind the scenes, bringing our pictures to us, and we had Aiden Schultz for a little while, and myself, Paul Jackson, in the booth. So if you guys want to join the series, we've got a few more races left before season 2 will kick off, and you can join the league there on the screen. But from everyone here at Inside Lane Productions and Quasi Esports, putting on the Oz Oval V8 Supercars League, just like to say thank you for tuning in tonight, and we'll catch you next week.